Welcome back to Make Way for Cat. We are back at the bear's camp. Got a talisman for the guard and the honey that we need. So the guard. There you go. Here, this ought to shield you from harm. For a time. He grins nervously as he puts the charm around his neck, and he clobbers himself in the face with his own fist. Wow, you weren't kidding. Though that's nowhere near the kind of punishment the bear can dish out. I better find some more stuff to test it out with, then I'll give that bear a piece of my mind. He stumbles off into the camp to find other objects to try against his newfound protection, leaving the bear's tent unattended. Yep. Ooh, yes, more clay pots. Anything else in here I can take? Alright. Ooh, chest. Before I shot this episode, I did run around and stock up on some more stuff, so I have a ton of water. Yeah. A ton of water, a ton of milk. The frothing base in the brewery stands ready for the right ingredients. Do it. As you squeeze the honeycomb with your bare hands, thick, rich honey slowly oozes into the brewery's tank. Too sweet for your taste, but then this potion is not for you. Metamorphosis elixir. You ladle out a good portion of the writhing, tar-like substance into the brewery. To be safe, you add a little bit more, just for texture. The frothing basin of the brewery stands ready for the right ingredients. Teddy bear. You pause before dropping the tattered plaything into the brewery. A glint in its button eye reminds you of something, but the thought soon evaporates from your mind. You overturn your palm and the stuffed bear splashes down into the concoction. It floats sadly for a moment before becoming waterlogged and disappearing under the surface. With the addition of the final ingredient, the brewing equipment is sealed and set to work. Steam hisses from the rivets and its swollen metal belly clanks and rattles. Before long, the waggling fingers of the gauge and dials settle down, indicating that the brew is complete. You give a quick sniff test and recoil at the sickeningly sweet vapors. You push an empty wooden keg under the contraption's spigot and crank the release valve. The brewery strains under the pressure and fills the keg with chunky, oozing fluid. May not be the finest honey mead around, but hopefully that great raging galoot won't stop to notice the difference. Take the keg. Sounds like a bad time this bear is about to have. Give the bear his honey mead. Ah, Captain, I've brought you more honey mead. Bear swipes up the tankard with his massive paw and tosses the contents into his slavering maw without hesitation. He licks his chops, savoring the peculiar flavor. With a sudden jerk, he bears down on you with suspicion. Say, this tastes kind of funny. What did you do, soldier? It's a new recipe. I thought you might enjoy something with a little more sting in it. Rah, you know I hate new things. I'll teach you to mess with my favorite brew, you hayseed. The bear is upon you with frightening speed. He raises the huge mace in his paw skyward, and you brace for the impact. With an equal measure of speed, the sergeant leaps between the crashing mace and your head. You peer through your fingers as a great clang resounds through the camp. The bear roars furiously as his blow is magically repelled from the sergeant's talisman. The mace goes spinning out of his paw and falls into the lake with a great splash. He gapes, dumbfounded, as the sergeant stands before him completely unharmed. Ha! That'll teach you to pick on us, you big oaf. This has been a long time coming. The sergeant wags his fingers at the bear. Who do you think you are, huh? You think you're so big and tough with your fancy feather hat and your big honking club? Well, look at you now. The camp soldiers gather to witness in stunned awe. Miraculously, the bear seems to shrink in the face of the sergeant's onslaught. If it was up to me, you'd be dishonorably discharged for disorderly conduct. You're a disgrace in the uniform. You're no captain of mine. With fear welling up in his eyes, the bear shrinks and shrinks until he is reduced to the size of a small cat. And another thing, what's happening? Oh, place of the bear's drunken grimace is the stitched smile of a doll's grin. Two button eyes stare back at the disapproving faces surrounding the little plush toy. The sergeant takes a step back to reveal the small shape of a stuffed teddy bear where the brute once stood. Your transformative potion has finally done its work. Gee, I guess I overdid it. He scratches his head in befuddlement, but seems genuinely relieved. Hey Sarge, I guess that means you're in charge now, right? Oh, yeah, I guess it does. Well, what are you all standing around for? The camp's a mess. Let's get to work. I'll take that. You pick up the diminutive doll and brush some sand out of its fur. As you inspect it further, its head lolls to face you. Far within the glassy surface of its button eyes, you can barely make out a tiny crimson flame, the trapped soul of the bear. This ought to be what the old goat is after. I hope he's happy. So much to do. Yep. Always use more coals. Alright, and the bear is done. So now we're on to the leech. So we're actually headed to the sick hospital. So we're actually headed to the swamp, which I believe is just the one path upward this way. Yep. Dodge the imp. Alright, so all the way... Oh no, that's the dark wood. I don't have to go there. I think it's down here to the left. Yes. Okay. And it's a straight across? No, I have to go up and around and then down. Alright, lady, I'm gonna go find your husband. Am I close? Oh, I went too far. Ooh. Nurse, hold on now. This sick house is full of the brim and festering with disease. Don't you know there's a deadly plague going around? A plague, you say? This is the first I've heard of it. Oh, it's terrible. It affects the young and old, the healthy and infirm alike. We're so swamped with patients I can barely catch my breath. So what are you doing out here? Shouldn't you be inside tending to the ill? We've just got so many bodies piling up. Someone has to bury them before they spread the sickness further. She drops her voice to a whisper, looking ashamed. It's gotten so crowded I've had to dump some of them in the swamp. That seems unethical. But don't worry, the leech is inside working her miracles on the other patients. They couldn't be in better hands. The leech? That's the doctor of this place? The best in the land. I don't dare think about how much worse it would be without her skills. I need to speak to her. I'm checking up on someone who came through here. Sorry, I cannot in good conscience allow a person of your, years to enter such an infectious space without a proper inoculation. But with all the patients, we're low on medicine. I'm afraid I don't have any to spare. Wow, what's a simple booster shot made from anyway? There's plenty of medicinal ingredients right here in the swamp. I'll go get them myself. Well, it's a pretty basic prescription. If you bring me the components, I'll be able to mix and administer it. Then you can go inside. I'll need 3 milligrams of bug ichor extract, 5 of toxic thistle powder, and some lazy grass. Okay, I think I have just I need one more toxic thistle and another bug eye core. Okay. I do know that like way back in the day they used to use... I can't have that yet. They used to use leeches for bloodletting as like medicine. So I'm curious to see how this plays out. Curious what her character design is, because leeches are rather plain looking. Okay, so bug ichor. You get that with... You do a smoke pellet on the mosquitoes. Sometimes they do drop it. The other thing is this stuff here. Oh, I have one. Okay. This was on the leeches. Let's do... Oh, hey. I'll take this. Oh, these bugs too. The dragonflies. We have leeches here, so let's just check. It's worth a shot. Alright, it's just blood. Okay. So we'll need the smoke. Basically the smoke bomb for the mosquitoes. Actually, I'm gonna craft another. Oh, okay, good. Just one other. And then I think it's the bait stick I need if I have to get the dragonfly instead. Watch it. Bug ichor. Okay. I'll look for one more mosquito. Since I have the smoke bomb. Yeah, these must be where she's dumping the bodies. Oh yeah, I could catch a couple frogs. We're getting low on the frog slime. Oh, run! Oh, that was close. Smoke bomb. There it is. Bug ichor. Okay, that should be enough. You place a sloshing jar of ichor in the nurse's hands. She inspects it suspiciously, but doesn't ask where it came from. Mosquitoes. I'll need 3 milligrams of bug ichor extract. Okay, yeah, she already told me this part. Toxic thistle. You snap off a few spiny thistles and pass them to the nurse. She is careful not to prick herself on the sharp ends. Okay, and lazy grass. The nurse takes the dried grasses you have been so careful to keep intact and immediately crushes them into powder. The nurse nods at you, gathering all the ingredients into a small hand-sized mortar. You hold your breath as she mashes everything into a slimy, stinky liquid. Not the most pleasant stuff, but I can assure you it beats growing lumps where no lumps should be. Speak for yourself. One can never have enough lumps. The nurse shrugs at you, sucking up the bubbling mixture into an oversized syringe. She gestures for you to hold out your arm. After stabbing into your flesh several times, she fails to find... Oh my gosh. I wasn't going to read that for those of you who are squeamish about this part. Sorry, you seem to have some strange physiology? Ah, give it here, I'll do it. You seize the... Okay, I'm just gonna... You doubt the medicine will have any effect, but at least it should make the nurse happy. There, I feel much better now. Can I go inside? Oh, yes. Yes, of course. You should be immune to the plague for the time being. Just be quick. The leech is very busy. Yeah, I don't think she's actually human. I think that young lady is her. She's like a homunculus or something. That's the leech, huh? I do like how like the long snout kind of makes it look like a plague doctor mask. The doctor slithers from one patient to another, checking off little boxes on a clipboard. From under her wide-brimmed hat, she appears to notice you enter, but pays you no mind. You must be the leech. I was hoping you could help me find one of your patients. Do you have the symptoms? Crackling of the bones, oozing eyes, skin rot, perhaps a yellow liver? Let's get you examined. The leech extends her toothy snout, prodding your body and searching for some hidden malignancy. You slap her away with a swift palm. If it's sickness you're looking for, you won't find it on me. My dear, we are all sick with something. Whether it's a broken heart or a broken arm, we all suffer in one way or another. You peer through her tightly wrapped garments and see a deep darkness underneath. Despite the warmth in her words, there is a sense of hunger and urgency in her tone. I'm here to heal, to mend, to put all of your troubles at ease. Now tell me, what ails you? I told you already, I'm in perfect health. I'm here to find someone, a man who came through here with a sprained ankle. Half the patients who come to me have a twisted this or a broken that, before the pox sets in, that is. Can you be more specific? What does he look like? Oh, I'm not sure. Well then how do you expect me to help you? Come back to me when you know who you're looking for. You look about the sick house at the coughing, wheezing, bedridden souls. Perhaps some of them will be able to identify the missing husband? Husband? Yeah, he had a darker complexion than me. Leave me alone. Is this her office? It's sparkly. Can I have it? It's the beardy guy you're looking for? Oh yes, I'll take all of that. This patient just stares into the distance, silent. Don't know where that short fellow got to, huh? Can't find the short guy? Sorry, I can't help you. Short, beardy guy? I missed that man with the beard. So short, you actually have to press A next to these patients. Dark hair, dark eyes. Okay, dark complexion, dark hair, dark eyes. Well, do you have any better idea who you're exactly looking for? Shorter than most. I'm going to need a bit more than that. Dark in features. Narrowing it down, give me something else. Wore a full beard. Ah, yes, I remember that poor man now. He came in with a swollen ankle, but on his journey through the swamp, he must have contracted the plague. His condition declined rapidly, I'm sorry to say. In the end, there wasn't much I could do for him except make him comfortable. He's dead? What sort of sick house is this anyway? My condolences, really. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to get back to doing what I can for the living. At least tell me where his wife might collect his body. The nurse outside seemed to be having trouble keeping track of them all. I'm sorry, that information is reserved for next of kin. Judging by your physique, I wouldn't say you're related to the deceased in the slightest. The doctor turns away from you to prepare vials of medicine. Better return to the old woman in the swamp with the bad news. Sketchy. Surely you're not making them sick so you could have a snack. Still can't open that? I think she was this way. Alright, but I gotta scoop your fire. Thank you. Old woman, do you have news of my husband? He should have been back from the sick house by now. You bow your head in condolence. I'm sorry to say that your husband has passed away. The leech said he fell ill with the plague. Rather than grief, an expression of mild annoyance crosses the woman's face. Oh, what a nuisance. You don't seem that upset by the news. Well, he was getting on in years. It was bound to happen sooner or later. I just didn't think it would be from some measly plague of all things. So where's the fool now? I'm not sure. The leech wouldn't tell me, but her assistant mentioned having to dispose of the dead out in the swamp. Ah, Brimstone and Bandersnatch. I know I'm already in your debt, sister, but can I ask you for another favor? I suppose I've already stuck my foot in this mess. What is it? There's an old circle of power just west of here. It served me well in my younger years, and I expect it's still got some juice left. I need you to dust it off and fire it up again. I'd go do it myself, but by the time I get there, my poor husband's body would already be reduced to worm. What am I to do with this circle? You're knowledgeable, lass. The engravings on the obelisk should explain the rest. Oh, is that the 4 obelisks with the adorned and whatever on them? Okay. Oh. Got me to craft whatever that was. Oh, smoke pellet. I need the map. Yeah, that. Okay. Circle of power. You brush off a blanket of thick moss and lichen from the ancient magical pattern carved into the earth. The essence of power wakes at your touch, bringing slight warmth to your fingertips. 4 black stone obelisks surround this ritual spot. You'll need to scrape off more overgrown decay to read the runic lettering engraved on their surfaces. The southern obelisk asks for a collection of bodily fluids to breathe new life into an unliving vessel. Apothecary humors, okay. Ugh, I need more of that bug stuff. Okay. Death certificate from the leech would fit the bill. Okay. Requires a source of undead animation. Necromantic charm. Tooth of a dragon. Okay. I've seen that, the dragonkin in the swamp. Drake Fang. Okay. So. They just gave me something this. Oh, I gotta get one of those pumpkin bones. I have everything else. I can't remember what the pumpkin used. I think it was one of these. Okay, so I need one of these. Okay, so we can do the pumpkin vine thing. I need more of the ichor, bug ichor, so I'm gonna need, I have the smoke bomb. Okay, so I do need to make more smoke bombs. Actually, I think I can make one of these. Let's use one of these and see if the dragonfly gets us anything. Yes. Yeah, the dragonfly is actually better. Okay, so the leech doesn't actually attack you. Just the mosquitoes. Hey. We need to go get one of those pumpkin things. Use more frogs. The drake is over here. Definitely use more of this stuff. Not the snail. Sacrifice. Okay. That's this thing here. Okay. So I have this. Awesome. I'm glad I stocked up on milk and water. This. This. Okay. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Beautiful. And then we'll need the shears. Got it. Okay. So now we just have to head back to the farm area and get a pumpkin. I think it was on this side of the farm. Yeah, over here across the bridge. Let's put that in the inventory. I came here, just walking through here, and one of these things chased me a long ways. Great. Done. Actually, I'm gonna steal your campfire. Oh, let me do the journal. Leech track. X. Okay. I did get this. Necromantic charm. There it is. Done. Get a death certificate from the Leech. Swamp. Ooh, there's a couple thistles there. I feel like we're just gonna be summoning her husband. We already know this woman has played with dark magic before. The shadowy doctor prowls amongst the cots, eyeing the weakest patients with a dark hunger. She snaps a quivering tentacle at you as you approach. Not a step closer. Who knows what sorts of disgusting maladies you might be carrying. Yes, yes. I'm a pox-ridden wretch, I know, but I need a death certificate from you. Specifically of the short-bearded man we spoke about. His wife is in no condition to roll her chair through the swamp, so she's asked me to collect it for her. I don't simply give out death certificates to anyone claiming to be someone's aunt, grandmother, or friend. This is a legitimate operation. She turns her back to you and rummages through a nearby medicinal closet. Now where has that serum got to? Don't tell me we're out already. What's the matter? Out of stock? It's a shame you don't have the time to go out yourself. She tenses at your continued presence. What are you getting at? Medicine for that death certificate. I think that's a fair trade, don't you? You would barter when people's lives are on the line? Fine. You'll have your paperwork, you filthy degenerate. Clearly too angry to speak with you, she shoves a list of required medicinal supplies into your hands. Okay. Just need the mending poultice, just 2 of those, and I'm certain I can make them. Oh yeah. Here you go. The leech stuffs the poultice into an unsanitary-looking cabinet without a second glance. Clearly too angry. Oh, yep. Here's the dragonfly wing. The leech takes the wings with a surprisingly delicate touch and lays them out carefully along the surface of a clear shelf. The leech inspects the barbs before placing each of them carefully into a velvet-lined container alongside other excruciating-looking instruments. I've run your errands now. I really must insist on that death certificate. There's no need to get prickly. I have your papers right here. The leech extends her moist arm and thrusts a poorly written note into your hands. You shake the mucus from the paper and try to decipher the loopy, illegible scribbles. You're not even sure that the leech spelled the poor man's name right, but you suppose it's better than nothing. Bah, next time I need a doctor's note, I'm better off forging the signature myself. Take it. Alright. Here's the necromantic charm. Death certificate. With the final offering accepted, the obelisks surrounding the circle begin to hum. You can hear a strange melody playing through their discordant tones. Carvings on the ground burn with renewed energy, driving away the overgrowth. You're quick to step away as you feel a vacuous force pull at the center's circle. Circle's center. There we go. I suppose that's done the trick. Let's see what the writing has to say for itself now. You rotate your head to read the glowing letters on the edge of the circle. Place the vessel of the deceased. Yada yada yada. Apply canopic ointment. Right, seems straightforward enough. All I need to do now is go fetch the body of that poor fool husband. He should be here in the swamp somewhere. Yep, back up here. Ah, this must be where that nurse has been dumping the surplus of corpses. I need to take a closer look at each one to find the right fellow. Similar, perhaps, not the right body. Not the husband. This poor soul doesn't fit the description. We're not going that direction. Where on earth is that stinking body? You'd think I'd be able to find him among the dead here. You watch a particularly bloated fly land on a rotting hand poking out of the muck. Its disgusting proboscis probes at the withered flesh. Two globular red eyes slowly unglue themselves and swivel to boggle at the insect. Huge slime-covered tongue lashes out and pulls the hapless fly into its grasping. Alright, okay. Oh gosh. Well, that's huge. Frog King. Broke? Can it be? Has a lovely young morsel wandered its way into my palace? You call this filthy bog a palace. He throws his head back, shaking the swamp with burbling laughter. Smaller frogs and newts scurry out of the way to avoid being crushed by his enormous bulk. Har har har, wouldn't you? This place is a veritable bounty of insects, and my subjects have such healthy appetites, so they will all grow big and strong. I'd eat you too, but that head of yours looks much too hard. I prefer my food to be nice and tender. You wouldn't perchance have seen an old man pass through here, have you? About yay high, full beard, deadish. Oh yes, I do believe I've seen the chap. He had such a delectable aroma. Okay. Once something goes down the hatch, it never sees the light of day again. We'll see about that. I'm sure I can come up with some just desserts for you. Okay. Digestive tablets. Okay. So that's where we're going to end this in the next episode. In the next episode, we're going to make a frog sick, I think, and get a dead body. Sounds like a party. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.